Good morning, students. This session is for class 12th and we are studying chapter 4, magnetic effect of electric current. Okay, students, yesterday we completed this topic that is known as magnetic field due to current element and Biot-Savart law. This topic has completed yesterday, but let me give you a quick revision of this topic, and after that we will solve some numerical problems based on this topic, and then we will study further topics. Okay, so let's start with the revision of this topic. So this is the law, it means the Biot-Savart law. This gives the magnitude of magnetic field at a point due to current carrying wire. You can see in this diagram, this one is a current carrying wire. The small portion of this wire is considered as the current element. Okay, so this IDL is considered as current element. Now suppose I is the current flowing through this wire, it means the same current I is flowing through this element DL. So the magnetic field at point P depends upon the following factors. That factors are: first one is the amount of current flowing through the element, second one is the length DL of that element, third one is the angle between the element and the line joining the point P with that element, and then the distance of point P from the element. Now this magnetic field dB depends, it means dB depends on I, dl and sine theta by proportionality. It means you can say dB is proportional to current, then dB is again proportional to the length dl of the element, then dB is proportional to the sine of the angle between the element and the line joining the point P of that element. Then this dB is proportional to 1 by r square, where r is the distance of the point P from this element dl. Okay, so finally you can see this one is the equation for the magnetic field. This is actually the magnitude of the magnetic field at point P due to this current carrying wire. This is given by the equation number 4.11. okay, so this one is the magnitude. But since magnetic field is a vector quantity, so in this part you can see here dl sine theta, you can write this part in terms of cross product. So you can take here a unit vector dl cross r, or you can represent this one in terms of displacement vector. So the same equation can be represented by this part. You can see here dB is proportional to I, then dl cross r. If you break this part by the definition of cross product, then you will get dl, then r and sine theta, then 1 r from this is cancelled by this r, and you will get the same result as given in equation number 4.11. okay, so I hope you understand. And now this part, that is mu naught upon 4 pi, this one is known as the constant, and in this part the mu naught is called, you can see here, the permeability of the free space or vacuum. This is the property of the free space or vacuum by which there may be a magnetic field. ठीक है, तो एक टाइप की प्रॉपर्टी होती है, दिस इज नोन एज द परमेबिलिटी. The value of this part, that is mu naught upon 4 pi, is given by 10 to the power minus 7, and in MKS system unit of this constant is Tesla meter per ampere. okay, so you can note down this unit and this numerical value, because this numerical value will help you to solve many questions. okay, so you must remember this constant which is given by equation 4.11c. Now what are similarities and differences between Biot-Savart law of magnetism and the Coulomb's law of electrostatics? So you can see here these are the similarities and differences. The first point is both are long range. So these both magnetic field and electric field intensities are long range, since both depend inversely on the square of the distance from the source to the point of interest, and the principle of superposition applies to both field. तो यहाँ पे दोनों के ऊपर आप प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सुपरपोजिशन अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। मतलब कि अगर बहुत सारे आपके पास मैग्नेटिक सोर्सेज हैं तो किसी पॉइंट पे जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड होगी वो इन सभी के वेक्टर सम के बराबर होगी, तो इसी को प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सुपरपोजिशन बोलते हैं। ठीक है। इन कनेक्शन नोट दैट द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इज लीनियर इन द सोर्स। द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इज लीनियर। The magnetic field is linear in the source ideal, just as electrostatic field is linear in its source, that is electric charge. Okay. Now next one is that electrostatic field is produced by scalar source, that is charge. Students, charge is a scalar source, so you can see here charge. But the magnetic field is produced by the vector source, that is ideal. Ideal together is a vector because you know that dl is displacement or it is a length, but it can be represented in terms of vector displacement here. So ideal together is a vector quantity. So now we have completed these similarities and differences between the electric field and magnetic field source. Now at point P, the magnetic field is given by right hand screw rule. Okay, so if current in the loop, suppose this one is a loop like structure, if current in this loop is anti-clockwise direction, then magnetic field inside the loop at any point is given by right hand rule, and this will be the perpendicular to the plane of paper and outward, it means towards your eyes. Okay, and if it is clockwise, if it is clockwise, then it will be perpendicular to the plane of paper, and inward it means away from your eyes. In this diagram you can see that this dl is, you can take along y axis, and this r this r is, can be taken along x axis. So if we measure the angle from dl to r, it means if we wrote dl cross r, it means we are taking angle from dl to r. If we wrote r cross dl, it means we are taking angle from r to dl. So it depends. So if it is dl cross r, it means you are taking angle from dl to r, and it is anti-clockwise direction. So for anti-clockwise direction you can see here, if dl is along j axis, means j cap, it means y axis, and r is across x axis, it means I cap axis. So it will be j cross I, and j cross I is equal to minus k. Okay, it is equal to minus k. So these give the direction of the magnetic field dB perpendicular to the plane of paper and inward. Okay, so in this case this magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of paper and inward. Inward means away from your eyes. Similarly you can get the direction in other cases. So this was some similarities, and this was the direction of the magnetic field at a point due to current carrying wire. Now let us see the third point. The electric field is along the displacement vector joining the source and the field point. So electric field is along the displacement vector and joining the source and field point, and the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane containing the displacement vector r and current element IDL. Okay, so it is perpendicular, where you can see electric field is along the displacement vector. So this is one of the difference. Now there is an angle dependence in Biot-Savart law which is not present in electrostatic case. So this one is again a difference. You can see here there is an angle dependence in Biot-Savart law which is not present in electrostatic case. In figure 4.9, the magnetic field at any point in the direction of dl, you can see by dashed line, is 0. Now along this line theta is equal to 0, so sin theta is 0. It means the magnetic field dB is 0. It means its magnitude is 0. Now there is an interesting relation between this is known as permittivity of free space, and this mu naught, that is known as the permeability of the free space. There is very interesting result, and you can see the relation between epsilon naught, mu naught and the speed of light c. You can see here, if you multiply these together, means epsilon naught and mu naught, so you can write here 4 pi epsilon naught, because we know value of this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Actually we know the value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, and that is 9 into 10 to the power 9, and similarly you can divide by the same, that is 4 pi. So you can put the value of 4 pi epsilon naught as 1 by 9 into 10 to the power 9, and the value of mu naught upon 4 pi is 10 to the power minus 7. So after calculation, if you calculate, you will get 3 into 10 to the power 8 whole square, and you know that this is the speed of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 is known as c. So you will get c square. It means mu naught epsilon naught is equal to 1 upon c square. This is very interesting result, and it is very useful in many situations and to solve many problems. So you can see here, we will discuss this connection further in chapter 8 on the electromagnetic waves. So we will use this in chapter 8. Since the speed of light in vacuum is constant, the product is fixed in magnitude, and choosing the value of either epsilon naught or mu naught fixes the value of the other. Since SI unit of mu naught is fixed to be equal to 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 in magnitude. So these are something about this product, and I hope you understand. But our most important point is to remember this result. Okay, so must remember this result, and we will use this result in chapter 8 when we will study electromagnetic waves. Okay, because we will study there is electric and magnetic, both properties are present in light, and this is speed of light. So we will use this result to solve many problems in chapter 8. Now if we understand this concept, so we are able to solve some questions, and you can see an example is given in your notebook, that is NCERT book. So this one is a question given, and let us try to understand and solve this question. Okay, so let's start. So first let me read this question. So this one is the example 4.5. You can see here, an element dl is given by delta xi. So it means this element delta l is lying along x-axis. Okay, so that it is given delta x I cap, where delta x is the length of this element. You can see in the diagram, is placed at the origin and carries a large current I is equal to 10 ampere. So current flowing through this element dl is 10 ampere as shown in this figure. You can see here. Now what is the magnetic field on the y-axis at a distance 0.5 meter, where delta x is 1 centimeter. Okay, so I hope you understand that this question is based on the Biot-Savart law. Let me read the question again. So look at the screen and you can read this question by yourself. You can see here, an element delta L is equal to delta x I cap. It means this one is a vector, and this vector, that is delta L, is lying along positive x-axis. I cap shows that this delta L is along x-axis. Okay, and the length of this element is delta x. Okay, is placed at origin. So the initial point of this one is at the origin and carries a large current, I is equal to 10 ampere. So current in this part, in this conductor, is 10 ampere. Now what is the magnetic field on the y-axis? So you have to find out the magnetic field at this point P, okay, at a distance of 0.5 meters. So you can see here this distance is 0.5 meter, and this delta x, the value of this delta x is 1 centimeter. It means 1 by 100 meter, because all the other physical quantities are given in MKS system. You must take the length delta x also in meter, okay, because meter is unit of MKS system. So as we know that this question is based on Biot-Savart law, let us write the formula for Biot-Savart law. That is the magnetic field at point P due to current carrying element dl. So you can write this equation, because this is the equation which represent the magnetic field at point P due to current carrying element dx. So this dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta upon r square. Now let's check the values of all these are given or not. So the value of mu naught upon 4 pi we already know, this is 10 to the power minus 7 in MKS unit. Then value of I, that is 10 ampere, it is given. Then value of dl, that is also given. You can write 1 by 100 meter in magnitude and 1 by 100 I cap in vector form. And this angle theta, so this angle theta is the angle between the element dl and the line joining the element dl to the point P. So this angle is 90 degree, you can see here. So this angle we can calculate it by diagram. So this angle is 90 degree. So this theta is 90 degree. So sin theta is 1. And now distance r from the element, distance r is given, and that is 0.5 meter. So it means all these quantities are given. So the question is very easy. It means you can put the values of all these variables and you will get the answer. So after putting the value of mu naught upon 4 pi, then value of I, that is 10 ampere, then value of dl, that is 10 to the power minus 2 meter or 1 by 100 meter, then value of sin theta, this is 1, and then value of r square. If r is 0.5 meter, then r square is 25 into 10 to the power minus 2. After solving these, after calculation, you will get the answer, that is 4 into 10 to the power minus 8 Tesla. So it is the answer. It means it is the magnetic field at this point P from the element dl. Now since this magnetic field is a vector quantity, so we must try to know about the direction of this magnetic field. So let's check the direction of this magnetic field, okay. So as if we write this equation in vector form, we will get here dl cross r, okay, we will get here dl cross r. So you can see here dl cross r. Now you can see dl is along I axis. So this one is I axis. Now r is distance along j axis. So you can write j cap. It means from here you will get delta x I cap into y j cap. So it means for direction we need only these unit vectors I cap and j cap. So you get here I cross j. So resultant of I cross j in vector form, it will give you k cap. And k cap is the direction of positive z axis. It means it is perpendicular to the plane of paper and outward, it means towards your eyes. So you can see this symbol, that is dot. This dot represents the direction of magnetic field that is perpendicular to the plane of paper and towards your eyes, okay. So it means the magnetic field in this case is 4 into 10 to the power minus 8 Tesla and along positive z direction. If you have any problem to understand this part, let's see, try to understand why it is k. So you can see here, we remind you of the following cyclic property of the cross product. So you know that I cross j is equal to k. So you can see here I cross j is equal to k. Now j cross k is equal to I and k cross I is equal to j. So these are the properties of the cross product. Note that the field is small in magnitude, and you can see here this one is 10 to the power minus 8, so this is very less value, so it is written here, that is the magnetic field is very small in magnitude. So student, I hope you understand this question. This question is very important, and you can solve this by yourself again for your practice, and try to solve more questions based on this topic. Student, keep practicing questions, because this is only way to understand deeply the concept. Okay, so if you solve more and more questions, you will able to understand the concept in deep, and you will able to apply the formula in different cases. Okay, now here we are going to understand the applications of the Biot-Savart law, and let's see, this is the first application, and this one is the magnetic field on the axis of a circular current carrying loop. Okay, so we are ready to derive a formula for magnetic field at a point on the axis of circular loop. Okay, so student, as we know that this one is the application of the Biot-Savart law, it means we must use the equation of Biot-Savart law in this case. So let's see this equation 4.12. This one is the equation of Biot-Savart law in vector form. Okay, so let's understand first this diagram. In this diagram you can see this one is a circular loop. Suppose radius of this loop is capital R, and the current you can see in this loop is I. Okay, current in this loop is I. Now this point, this line, that is OP. OP represents the axis of the loop. Okay, you know that axis of a circle is a line perpendicular to the plane of circle and passing through the center is known as the axis. So you can see in the diagram, in this circular diagram, the OP is a line perpendicular to the plane of the circle and passing through the passing through the center of this circle. So here you can see, suppose we are taking this one is as the element dl. Okay, suppose we are taking this one as element dl. So the distance of point P from this dl is taken as r, and the distance of point P from the axis, from the center of the loop is taken as small x. Okay, so the magnetic field due to this element dl at point P is perpendicular to this line, that is line, you can see if this point is considered as Q, so the magnetic field at point P due to this element dl must be perpendicular to the line QP, and this is this one. So this dB is the magnetic field represented by this element dl at point P. Okay, this is according to the right hand palm rule. Okay, so you can find out the value of this magnetic field at point P according to right hand palm rule. So this one is the magnetic field. Now if this magnetic field, this is perpendicular to this line, and suppose this angle from the x-axis is theta, then this angle, this one angle is 90 minus theta. This angle is 90 minus theta. Okay, this angle is 90 minus theta. Now since this total angle is 90, so this one is again, this one is 90 minus theta. Okay, and this total angle, this angle between, angle QPDB, angle QPDB is 90 degree, and angle DB perpendicular, this one DB perpendicular P and DB is 90 minus theta. So this angle is again theta. This angle is theta. Okay, if this angle is theta, this angle is taken as 90 minus, this angle is 90 minus theta. Okay, so now you can see this angle is 90 minus theta and this one is again 90 minus theta. Now the component of this dB along x-axis is dB cos theta. So along this direction, this one is dB cos theta. Okay, and the magnetic field, this perpendicular magnetic field is dB sin theta. So this one is dB then sin theta. Okay, now similarly you can take different elements up from this circular loop, and the magnetic field due to all these elements along the x-axis is dB cos theta, whereas along perpendicular direction to the x-axis they are dB sin theta. Okay, since you can take infinite number of elements from this loop, you will get infinite number of dB sin theta at this point, and each dB sin theta is cancelled by one exactly opposite dB sin theta. So this perpendicular component play no role in the magnetic field at point P, whereas the total sum of the magnetic field along x-axis, because along x-axis magnetic field due to all the elements are in the same direction, so along x-axis the net magnetic field will be given by the integration of dB cos theta. Okay, where dB is the magnetic field produced by very small element dl. Okay, so let's check in this statement which is given in this text. Okay, so let's see. In this section we shall evaluate the magnetic field due to the circular coil along its axis. The evaluation entails summing up the effect of infinitesimal current element IDL mentioned in previous section. We assume that the current I is steady and that the evaluation is carried out in the free space. So all these magnetic field is taken. It means we are assuming that this arrangement is in vacuum or in free space. Now this figure 4.11 depicts a circular loop carrying steady current I, and the loop is placed in YZ plane with its center at origin O, and the radius of this loop is capital R. X-axis is the axis of the loop. Then we wish to calculate the magnetic field at point P on the axis. Okay, so what is our aim, or you can say we wish to calculate the magnetic field at point P on this axis. Let x be the distance of the P from center O of the loop. Then consider the conducting element dl of the loop, and this is shown in the figure 4.11. Then magnetic field dB of the magnetic field due to the element dl is given by the Biot-Savart law, and it is given by equation number 4.112, and it is dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I, then dl cross r cube. This one you can see, this one is the magnitude of dl cross r. Okay, so if you break this part, you will get dl, magnitude of dl, then magnitude of r, that is r, into sin theta, and there will be no n cap because magnitude of n cap is 1, because n cap is a unit vector, and this r is in magnitude, so it will cancel one of the r from this r cube. So you can write this mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. Okay, now from this diagram you can see here you can write this r is equal to capital R square plus x square by using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so this one is. Further, any element of the loop will be perpendicular to the displacement vector from the element to the axial point. For example, the element dl lies in yz plane, whereas the displacement r from dl to the axial point p is in xy plane. Hence dl cross r will be dl, because in this case theta is 90 degree, or you can say angle between the line joining to point P and element dl is 90 degrees. So this dl cross r is equal to r into dl in scalar part, or you can say scalar form. So you can write equation 4.12 like dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into I dl, the value of dl cross r, upon the value of r square. If you put dl cross r is equal to r into dl, one of the r is cancelled from r cube, and you will get mu naught upon 4 pi I dl by r square, and then you can replace small r square by x square plus r square. So this is the equation number 4.13. Okay student, so try to revise this part. We will complete this part tomorrow because there is time limit. Okay, so try to revise your topic and try to solve numerical based on these topics, because this is the only way to get deep knowledge about any topic and to understand the application of that concept in different cases. Okay, so thank you for watching.